Hey guys, how you doing? Evylyn here and welcome to another video. So here I am on my rogue, returning from the darkness. So a lot of you have been asking me for the 5.4 rogue changes, because as you guys know I play a rogue. So I'm going to bring you these changes today, but before we get into any of that, we're going to go into last week's competition winner. And the winner should be on the screen right now. Congratulations, and all you have to do to claim your prize is make sure you send me a YouTube message and include your email and your nationality. Next week we're going to have a new prize, and the prize should be on the screen right now. And all you have to do for a chance to win that prize is like the video, leave a comment as I'm going to be choosing a winner from the comments, and make sure you subscribe as only subscribers can win. Okay, so guys, today we're going to go into the 5.4 rogue changes. There's quite a few changes, specifically combat and subtlety, and I'm going to go into them as we go along. Okay, so guys, the first change up is going to be to Evasion. Evasion is now doing a 100% chance to dodge, up from 50, which basically means if you're fighting any class except for warriors that's melee based, you're going to have a 100% chance to dodge all of their attacks, so this is going to be really good. The only reason it doesn't work against warriors is because they can use overpower. But other than that, this is a really good change to rogues, and I actually seen this being really powerful in 5.4. I'm actually going to show you guys a example of it right now, how much damage I'm going to be taking with it up. Okay, so guys, the next change is going to be to Eviscerate. Eviscerate damage has been nerfed by 10%. Now, I don't actually think they've implemented this change, I'm not 100% sure, but as you guys can see, this is PTR. If you look at my item level, it says 522 maximum, but I've changed it down to the 496 gear just to show you guys the difference in stats. Now, as you guys can see, the maximum damage with 5 combat points is 63,473 damage. But if I go to live servers, the maximum damage is 58,365. Which basically means that I think they've actually increased the damage it does somehow, not sure why, but they have done. So I'm going to show you guys a quick example of how much damage Eviscerate does right now. So we're going to show you the live version and the PTO version. Okay, so behind the dummies here, we're going to see what the damage is between live and normal. We're going to show you the damage on live, then we'll show you the damage on the PTO, and then we're going to show you the damage with the 522 gear on the PTO. So first up, we're going to start off with live. Okay, so we're going to try to get a crit for you guys here. So let's get some points up. There we go. 118k crit. Try for another one. 56k normal. So that's live, guys. Let's go to the PTR. Okay, so now we're back on the PTR. Now we're going to try out the Eviscerate for the normal gear, and then we're going to try the Eviscerate for the new gear. So let's see what kind of damage we can pump out with the old gear. Only 4k on the crit there. Let's see what we do on normal crits, normal hits with the PTR. 45k. Okay. Okay, so now we're going to switch over to the actual new gear. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to get my mug on this server, but it's not a problem. So let's see what we can do with the new gear. Let's try for a crit and a long crit. See what we get. Now hopefully the damage scales well enough. As you guys see, 59 on a long crit, which is more than live. So as you guys know, the gear was nerfed by 10%, as you guys saw. 121, which is actually more than live servers. So rogue critting with a new gear, just a little bit more than live servers. Which, 131, nice. So as you guys see, live is a little bit more different than the actual servers at the moment. So the live and the normal damage from Eviscerate is just being normalized, I guess, in a way. So they've kind of like nerfed it just so it doesn't do over the top damage in 5.4. Because if it wasn't nerfed, I pretty much know rogues would one shot you in 2 seconds. So it was a good change. Okay, so the next change is being to Recuperate. Let's see how much it heals for in new gear in 5.4. Let's stick to it and switch. So let's get 5 combos up and let's see how much it heals for. Right, you ready? Let's use it. This is with the glyph. Let's see what we get out of it. Oh my god, 32k health. I remember when it used to heal, what was it? It used to heal almost only 10-12k health. Now it's healing 32k every 3 seconds. Rogues are gonna own it up in 5.4. I see a lot of really good stuff. Okay, so the next change is being the Sinister Strike. Sinister Strike now does 190% weapon damage, up from 145%, and now costs 50 energy instead of 40 energy. Now a lot of people will see this as a nerf, but what you guys have to remember is they made an actual change, and they introduced a new spell, which was the next change. So we're going to do two changes in one here. So the new spell change, which is actually an old change that used to be in the game, but is now put back into the game for combat rogues, which means when you have a combo point, for every one combo point you're going to gain 20% chance to gain an extra combo point. Now we use this at 5 combo points, that means you're going to have 1 combo point when you use his finishing move. So that being said, rogues are going to also gain 25 energy from Relentless Strikes. So every time a rogue uses, as a combat rogue, uses 5 combo points, they're going to gain 25 energy and 1 combo point. So this will even out the actual change on Sinister Strike for the amount of damage that we're going to be doing as combat rogues. So don't worry too much about that, guys. It's actually a buff when you think about it. Don't forget that we're also going to gain a small bit more haste than we have on live. So the regeneration rate of our energy is going to be quite a bit more thanks to combat vitality. Okay, so the next change is to the combat is going to be to Killing Spree. Killing Spree now actually has been changed. If you use Killing Spree with Blade Flurry, then it's going to be the exact same as it is on live. It's going to attack multiple targets, but without Blade Flurry up, if you actually use Killing Spree now, it's going to attack just the one target you're actually facing. So if I use Blade Flurry here, you guys are going to see me do it, and then I'm going to show you guys an example of me using it on somebody in a duel. As you guys can see, it's not jumping to the next target, which is really cool. So let's show you guys me using it in a duel here. Okay, so the next change is to Assassination. Assassination just had no real major changes, but this particular change is worth mentioning. It's only a PvE change though, so don't worry too much about it if you're a PvP rogue. Basically they're changing it so if you're Assassination and you're in a scenario or dungeon or anything, instead of you being able to roll on swords, you can now only roll on daggers. Okay, so the next change is to Adrenaline Rush. In addition to the normal things Adrenaline Rush already does, Adrenaline Rush also, while active, is going to reduce the global cooldown of Sinister Strike, Revealing Strike, Eviscerate, Slice and Dice, and Rupture by 0.2 seconds. Now this is only a small buff to actual damage, but it's still worth mentioning. All it really means is to be able to press things a little bit quicker. So if I activate Adrenaline Rush here, you guys will see it. As you guys can see, I can spam. It's pretty cool like that. Okay, so the next change has been to Backstab. Backstab is now doing 315% weapon damage, up from 275, which is actually quite a lot of damage when you think about it. So let's just get some singularity veins up here to show you guys the amount of damage it actually does. So we'll get some 5 combo points up, and we'll give it a kidney shot as well, just to maximise the amount of damage it gives. That's Backstab, 112k on a 52k non-crits. It's actually pretty beefy if you ask me for Backstab crits, considering I have no CDs up or anything. So I actually see that as a really good change for rogues, especially when you're in combat and you know you can't get back in the stealth for some ambushes. Hemorrhage has now been changed. Hemorrhage now does 160% weapon damage, up from 140, and 232 damage if a dagger is equipped, up from 203. Now that's actually quite a beefy amount of damage. So let's get some singularity veins going here and show you guys how much damage it's actually doing now. So here we go. It's doing 99k crits, and let's see if we can get a non-crit here. 43k non-crits. That's actually quite a lot considering that you're not behind the target most of the time. So I can see that being quite a lot of damage in PvP, especially like when you're out of stealth, as well as regard to the backstab chain. Okay, so next we're moving on to the talents. Burst of Speed has been changed. As you guys can see, Burst of Speed now costs 15 energy, and that's the only real change to it. Let's spec for it just to show you guys. So basically you can now just spam it if you really want to. You can literally almost spam it, like, but look at my engine, it's barely going down. Cheat that has now been changed. Cheat that now does 85% reduced damage when it activates, up from 80%, which basically means rogues are almost going to be really hard to kill. Now at some point this used to be 90% a long time ago, so maybe they're trying to push rogue more towards the not dying side. I'm still too not sure if I want to take this over elusiveness. I know in arena, especially when you take a lot of damage, elusiveness can be a real life changing game changer basically, especially combined with combat readiness. Cloak and dagger has been changed once again. Cloak and dagger now is activated from 40 yards up from 30 yards, and it is 20 yards on live. So I can see this being a really good change as regards to if you want to jump from one target to another on a long distance time. Like you could quite easily jump, use garrote, silence the healer, then jump back to another target 40 yards away, cheap shot, pop all TDs and do a hell of a lot of damage. As regards to whether it's worth keeping, I don't know. Shadow Step is really good. I'm not too sure. I think I'll stick with Shadow Step. The guy's showing you the range on Cloak and Dagger. I'm gonna garrote the bunny and then attack the warrior Cobras over here. I'm gonna set the focus just so we can do it quickly. Are you watching? So for Night Elf Rogues only, I can see this being good as a subtly spec move, but I'm still not sure if it's going to overtake Shadow Step because it's the 20-second CD. Thanks Cobras for that. And Cobras asked me to give a shout out to his main, which is called Cobras, on Ashura server, which is in Korean. Okay, the next change has been to Night Stalker. Now I don't see this talent being picked over Subterfuge just yet, simply because of the fact that Subterfuge just allows you to get your singularity veins off. Now, combined with the new glyph for hemorrhage, I don't know. It's yes and no, no and yes. Like, there's many situations where you could do either, but I think the silence on garrote also helps quite a lot. So we'll see how that goes, but I see Night Stalker being really good at low levels, basically one-shotting people with ambush, like especially in battlegrounds. Because I know a lot of rogues like twink it up. The next change has been to Paralytic Poison. Paralytic Poison now activates on 4 stacks instead of 5, so it's been changed quite a bit. Now I'm going to show you guys a quick example of me dueling somebody here, and you're going to see me stack up 4 stacks and how quickly it applies the poison. The cooldown on Shadow Step has been changed. Shadow Step used to be 24 seconds, it's now 20 seconds, so this is going to be really good in arenas, just because you can be able to switch more often as much as you want, like in arena. So I can see that being a really good change as regards to BGs as well, being able to get away, even like Shadow Step into your healer just to get some safety. So I actually like this change to Shadow Step. Next up we have is the glyphs. Glyph of Adrenaline Rush is now baseline and it's no longer a glyph, it's now been replaced by Glyph of Redirect. Now if you look here where redirect is, you can see the redirect no longer has a cooldown, which is really good, especially in arenas, because if you can see yourself switching between targets quite a lot, you can just redirect your points without having to worry about actually whether you need to reapply your combo points or use them up just before you switch. Glyph of Blind has been changed. Glyph of Blind now removes all damage and time effects that would only cause your blind to break, which basically means that anything that won't break your actual blind is not going to drop off. So we'll see how that goes. Okay, so I'm going to dap Corbus up and show the new blind ability. And here's me using dirty tricks without Glyph of Blind. I actually think Glyph of Blind has been broken, so I'm not sure what's going to happen in 5.4. But if it remains as it is, I think rogues are going to spec for dirty tricks more often. The next glyph is Glyph of Sharpened Knives. Glyph of Sharpened Knife now applies 1 stack of armor debuff from Fanat Knives. Next is Glyph of Deflation. Glyph of Deflation has been replaced by Glyph of Recovery, which now increases healing received while Recuperate is active by 20%. Glyph of Sap has been replaced by Glyph of Hemorrhaging Veins. Hemorrhaging Veins now accelerates Singularity Veins from using Hemorrhage. So this basically means you won't have to apply your garrots and any bleeds or anything like that so often. So you should be able to keep sustained extra damage during the match while you're fighting. Glyph of Shiv now replaces the cooldown of Shiv by 3 seconds, was 2 seconds. The last two glyphs, which are cosmetic, the first up is Glyph of Improved Distraction. The distraction now creates a decoy at the summon target location, as you guys are going to see over there. Not sure what it's doing. It's like a little guy standing there. It's pretty funny. And the last glyph is Glyph of Headhunter. Your throw and deadly throw will now throw axes instead of daggers or whatever your weapon is, regardless of what your weapon is. Now keep in mind this actually doesn't work for Shurikentoss. Shurikentoss still shows Shurikens, as you guys can see. Throwing small axes, you can see in my hand there by zooming really closely. You can see little small axes. It's a minimal change, but it's pretty cool at least. So there you have it, guys, that's all of the rogue changes. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and if you did, remember to hit the video with a like, maybe subscribe to my channel if you want to see more of this. So anyways guys, thank you for watching. This is Evasion. I love you all, take care, and I'll see you guys in the next one.